Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. I'm Kyle Smith, alongside my partner in crime and friend, Ryan Zimmerman, for another edition of SBS. Tonight, Ryan, it's the LVOG, that stands for the League of Very Ordinary Gentlemen. It's adult softball, slow pitch, of course. Evening Wood against Balls on Parade. You never see it, but it's the lowest seed against the second lowest seed. When it's single elimination format, sometimes this happens, and it happened in this tournament.
That's the great thing about softball. It doesn't matter how well you play during the regular season or how good your team is. The teams that make it to the championship are whichever teams get hot at the right time, and you're seeing that with the 8th and 7th seeds squaring off.
Balls on Parade, they only won by 1 run, Ryan. They were down by 2 as late as the 7th. They came back to win, a crushing defeat for Sectional Chocolate. I don't know what happened to We've Got the Runs tonight, Ryan, but they did not have the runs tonight. They lost 40-15.
Yeah, that's a very ironic name for a team there. We've Got the Runs allowed might have been more apropos, but you know what? The teams that are here deserve to be here. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters how you finish, clearly, because, well, obviously this is the championship game, and these are the two teams that are battling it out, but it just goes to show they got their stuff together at the right time, and one of these two will be lifting the trophy when it's all said and done.
I'm going to go with Evening Wood. I know that they scored 40 runs, and you always think, oh, do they have any more left in the tank? I think with that kind of momentum, coming all the way back from an 8 seed, beating the 1 seed, then beating the 4, I just don't see anybody beating them with that momentum that they've driven through this tournament.
Well, like I said, that's the great thing. You never know what a team's going to bring on any given game, so we'll see how things go. Balls on Parade had a really nice win to finish off the semifinals, doing so by the skin of their teeth. So these two teams have played 2 different brands of softball, and we'll see which one gets the job done.
We'll take a break. You're watching Evening Wood against Balls on Parade here on SBS.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action at beautiful Community Park West. It's Evening Wood against Balls on Parade. Balls on Parade, the home team, of course, as it shows on your screen, as they're below. Evening Wood couldn't fit the Evening Wood, so we put Nightwood. If you want to know what those team names mean, just text us. We'll let you know after the game. But, yeah. It's what's fun about adult league softball, Ryan. You don't have to be called the Tigers or the Cubs or the White Sox. You can get as creative as you want.
Yeah, and you can just come up with the most ridiculous names you want, and nobody's going to care. In fact, the more outlandish, the better. These guys are here because they want to have fun, and that's part of it. You don't have to take it super seriously.
Well, there was some trash talk on social media coming into this game from all 4 teams, but both of the higher seeds lost. So it's 7 versus 8. Nobody expected this coming into the tournament. It is not that cold, actually. You got to bundle up, but the wind is not there. So that might not be a factor tonight, partner. The wind is blowing out a little bit to center field. Are we going to see some home runs in this game?
Oh, it was a lot worse during the semifinals, and it seemed like every other pitch someone was hitting one over. I mean, with these guys, these are really athletic guys, comparatively speaking. So you could definitely see some home runs. And, this being the championship game, everyone's going to want to say they hit a home run in the championship game. So at the very least, we're going to see some guys swinging for the fences.
The lineups are brought to you by Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. For the home team, you've got Josh Weinberg leading off. Bo White batting second. Chris Saddens batting third. Chris Farrington in the cleanup spot. Nick Savage batting fifth. Sixth is Brad Niedermeyer. Seventh, Chris Langager. Matt DeMuzio, Eric Noche, a late addition. Patrick Clifford, that's a ground ball to short. Little three-hopper and an out, and one up, one down in favor of Balls on Parade.
That's a good start for Balls on Parade right there. Seeing how well Evening Woods hit the ball throughout their playoff run, anytime you can get easy outs early in counts like that, you'll take it.
Brian Jacover now up, and deja vu all over again. 2 pitches, 2 putouts at shortstop.
Quick and efficient. Can't ask for much more if your Balls on Parade.
Remember, it's got to go at least 6 feet. Just missed for a ball. Two and one. Greg Reese, one of the best hitters in this tournament, up now. Looking to get a hold of one here. Fly ball, but it's going to go foul. Third base side. 2 and 2. Remember, partner, you only get 1 foul ball. Even if you get 2 foul balls, it's a strikeout.
And on top of that, every count starts 0-1 just to give a little bit of an edge to the defensive team. So you have to be really smart with your approach at the plate just because you don't have as much room to work with.
The advantage is still there for the hitter, though, because it's got to hit the mat to be a strike. And there for a ball, full count.
Or I guess maybe my phrasing wasn't right. It's more so give some help to the pitching.
Yeah. Fly ball, straight center. It's going to carry out of the ballpark. It's a home run for Greg Reese, a 4-bagger solo shot. That makes it 1-0 in favor of Evening Wood.
When Kyle, you were just saying, did you think we're going to see some home runs? Well, there's your answer. Evening Wood's been hitting the cover off the ball throughout this tournament, and the long ball's been a big part of their offensive charge.
Now the cleanup hitter, Ryan Jackson, also in left field. And it's outside for a ball, 1-1. Ground ball, and he shoots the box for a base hit. Remember, it's 60-foot bases. He's going to try for the double. Good throw, but he gets in there with a 2-bagger. That's the problem, partner, because you don't want to always play straight center field because then it leaves a gap in left center. So some teams allow straight center field to have that gap. Other teams will play straight center field. There's always going to be a gap in this league.
And that's the best way to hit, honestly. Yeah, hitting home runs is great, but the way to continually frustrate your opponent, just find those gaps and take the extra 60 feet whenever you can, just like that.
Joe Chasen now up as it's outside for a ball. Ground ball to the pitcher, and he gets it over to first base for the out. So that will do it. But Greg Reese with a home run. We go to the bottom of the first. It's 1-0 Evening Wood here on SBS.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action at Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast thus far. As Nick Cesada asks who's playing in the championship, well, there's the live score banner for you. It's Eveningwood against Balls on Parade. The rosters, if you want to know who's on each team, just download the green Game Changer app, and it'll tell you who's on each team. Going to have to score a lot of runs tonight, partner, to win the game. Very rarely you're going to win a game where it's less than 10 runs scored.
Yeah, that's just the name of the game with adult league softball. It's a very offensive-oriented game with the slow pitch and the hitter getting to see it the whole way. You can't really put any English on the ball. You have to throw it at least 6 feet into the air. So really, for games like this, it's whoever's offense can get the bats going more, because you're going to see it a lot. But actually, it's more so if you can play some decent defense, that's really going to give you the edge. These offenses are going to come to swing the bat, so if you can play soundly defensively, you're going to be all right.
The defensive alignment for Eveningwood, Share behind the plate, Darniter at first, Robertson on the mound, Duncan at third, Jacover at short, Wendell at second base, Chasen in right field, Reese will play a combination of center and right center, Casey in left center, and Jackson in left field. Got to avoid the walks. That's what really killed Midlife Vices. They were up 11-0, and they lost that championship game back in the summer. That's a flat ball. He's going to swing it anyways. I don't know, partner. I'm going to say that's an error. I think you got to have that ball at shortstop.
That's a real in-betweener. It could go either way, but you know what? Balls on Parade will take it regardless.
Especially because your shortstop's usually your best defender, right? That's one he probably should have. And a lot of these guys have played Division I baseball as well. That's an E6, runner at second base. That'll bring up the left-handed hitter in Bo White. Remember, 60-foot bases, so you can get to second base on any slow base hit to the outfield. 1-1 the count. Outside for another ball. Another ball, that'll make it 3-1. Hopefully you're enjoying the game. Text line's open, 330-957-7653, your favorite MLB memory. Line drive into the outfield. He's going to shoot the right center gap. It's a base hit, an RBI double, and that'll make it 1-1.
Wait, you're giving these people your actual phone number?
Who says it's my phone number?
Hey, it should lead to a lot of really nice discussions. There's so many good MLB memories you can pick from.
Good looking pitch. Got there on the mat. 1-2. 0-2, I should say. I'm so used to a lot of these softball leagues playing California rules where it's a 1-1 count automatically. Line drive into the outfield. He shoots the box. That'll be another RBI. That time, center fielder gets it in quick for Eveningwood. That's Reese out in center, and it's another RBI for Balls on Parade.
I feel your pain, Kyle. Whenever I played 16-inch, we would always start with a 1-1 count, and we also had the foul ball rule too, except I think you were allowed to get 2, provided that strike 2 is also foul. So a lot of these leagues play a bunch of different styles. You have to appreciate the variation.
Absolutely. It is not that cold tonight because there's no wind. That's flat, and that's a ball. Got to be careful on that, partner. It looks enticing, but you want to let that ball reach you at the plate. You don't want to hit flat balls. That's now a 2-1 count. Still nobody out. If you're just joining us, the leadoff hitter got an error and then a double and a single. That's where we are right now. High fly ball to left field. It just goes over the fence for a 2-run 4-bagger. Chris Farrington with the 2-run knock. 4-1 in favor of Balls on Parade.
So even with all of their offense getting to this point, early on, it's balls on parade doing the big swinging. Evening Wood has their work cut out for them early.
Well, they were the 8th seed for a reason. They had a positive run differential, though, did Evening Wood, but other than that, it's been all balls on parade this tournament. Ground ball, it's off the pitcher, as Robertson can't handle it. We'll say that one's an infield single.
I would concur. It's not a routine play for anybody to make.
Only Greg Maddox could make that play. You know that Jim Cott, he won like 16 Gold Gloves as well?
I did know that. I think he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, too.
It's not the Veterans Committee. What is it called now? Anyways, that's how he got in.
Isn't it still called the Veterans Committee?
Oh, maybe it is. I thought they changed the name. Outside for a ball. One of my dad's favorite players. He pitched for both the Twins and the White Sox. Also was on the Cardinals. 1-1 count.
As well as CBS?
Yeah, one of their best commentators. Back in the days of Jack Buck and Jim Cott. Another ball, 3-1. What do you think, Parter? You might need to warm somebody up. Obviously, it's not the pitcher's fault he's giving up home runs, but now he can't find the strike zone. Inside for a ball.
You know, it's still early, and seeing as how easy it is to put up runs if you're Evening Wood, I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet. You still got a little bit of time to figure it out.
Still nobody out. That brings Chris Langager up. A 3-run knock would make it 7-1. A ground ball in between the short third base hole. Third baseman gets it, and it's a 5 unassisted for the first out of the inning.
If you're Evening Wood's pitcher, that's one that'll settle you down. Sometimes there's just that psychological effect. You see one batter making out, and it gives you the confidence to get the next two.
Now to the bottom of the order, Matt DiMuzio up. As the lefty with a little fly ball gets to the outfield. Not good speed on the base pass, but he eventually gets home. Got to get that monkey off your back, partner. That should have been an easy run score. Took him forever to get to home plate.
Well, he made it. His teammates might give him a little flack on the way back to his seat in the dugout, but a run's a run.
It's an RBI
They
single.
can make fun of him because he scored.
Right? It's all okay if you get to home plate unscathed. 5-1 the score. What a game tonight. That's an error, and it will put the runner at third base. Getting over to third is DiMuzio. That's now 2 errors in the inning on the shortstop. Can't have it, partner, if you want to win championship games.
That's one that's not the most routine to make, but a guy like him, he should probably have that.
At least you got to get the force out at second base, at the very least. Jacover now with 2 errors, and it's costing Evening Wood. Fly ball hit out to right. Didn't touch it, so it's not officially an error. Meanwhile, runners continue to advance. Looking for the inside the park homer. Instead, he'll stay at third. 2-run score. Patrick Clifford, the late addition. He did not play in the semifinal. 2 RBIs, but partner, that's one you got to catch in right field.
That just wasn't the best angle to the ball right there. He took his first step in, and as an outfielder, that's a cardinal sin. Your first step has to be back, and that initial step is what cost him a shot at that catch.
This game is far from over, though. I bring up last year's championship game for a reason. Midlife Ices were up 11-0. I don't see good things, though, from the defense right now for Evening when they look a little stagnant and out of place. Fly ball, late on the swing. And a little duck snort base hit. Another run scores. It's 8-1. The 11-hole hitter with the RBI.
Oh, I hope he's okay right there. A tough slide into second base. Took him a little extra time to get up, but he looks okay. A championship game like that, you know it's going to take a lot more than that to get him out.
Make it 8-1 in favor of balls on parade. They were that close, partner, from being eliminated in the semis earlier tonight, but they found a way back, and now they lead by 7 runs with only 1 out in the inning, and now it's back to the top of the order.
And you're going to get the guy that said that this team is bopping, and that's really what it is. They found their momentum, and it feels at this point everything will go their way.
We'll make sure that Dusty is okay at second base. And he is going to shake it off, stay in the game. Weinberg back up for balls on parade. Jacover with 2 errors in the inning. But let's give credit to this balls on parade team. They are hitting where the defense ain't.
That's exactly what it is. And I mentioned it earlier, you don't always have to hit home runs. Yes, they've had a few, but they've been finding the gaps. And Evening Wood just hasn't had the best start defensively, and they're capitalizing.
Outside for a ball. Bo White up, then Chris Saddens. Actually, Bo White on deck, Chris Saddens in the hole. That's foul ball. Makes it 1 and 2. They also do that with the 0-1 count, partner. It's less enticing to take a walk because then you have to have 4 pitches that are juicy balls right near the plate that you don't swing at. Try to avoid the walks.
And plus, it just slows the game down, too. It's not fun on either team where you just see a bunch of walks, nothing happens, you're just standing around.
It is a cool trophy, though. You want to win, but you usually don't see the walks until the 7th, 8th, 9th innings when everything else is on.
When you really need it.
Yeah. You know you're going to tick off the other team, but you got to do it to get on base. In there. Just miss. I thought he got it, but 2 and 2. Ground ball. Shoots the box. Got to get it in quick. He does, but it still scores the run. 9-1. I mean, it is dead silent right now. They were bopping, was Evening Wood, when they were up 1-0 from Greg Reese's homer. Ever since, it's all balls on parade.
Well, balls on parade was the one that said they were bopping.
Yeah.
They really are bopping right now.
Yeah. Well, Evening Wood looked good, top of the first, but then they had to play defense, and then not so much.
Give credit to balls on parade's pitching and defense. They were able to shut Evening Wood down, and it gave them a lot of confidence to come out swinging the bats hot.
2-1 count. Bo White now at the dish. High pop up. It's a major league fly ball. Jacover gets under it for the 2nd out of the inning.
Boy, Evening Wood really needed that. The way balls on parade has been swinging it, they needed an out in the worst way, and finally they got it. We'll see if that can help propel them to get out of this first inning.
High ball and inside for a ball. Fly ball out to the outfield. It's to straight center, though, as the center fielder and Reese makes the catch, but the damage is definitely done. 9 runs cross home plate. We go to the top of the 2nd. It's 9-1 balls on parade here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action at SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Ryan Zimmerman. It's 9-1 in favor of balls on parade. Evening Wood has their work cut out for them. You don't have to score all 8 runs in this inning, partner, but a nice 4 spot would help. Fly ball over to left. It's a can of corn. And caught by the Balls on Parade left fielder for the first out of the inning.
You don't have to get it all back now, whatever Evening Wood. You do need to hit with a sense of urgency. Seeing how well Balls on Parade was hitting in the bottom of the first, you have to imagine that everything they get contact on is dropping. So you really need to get runners on, and make your opportunities count.
That's outside for a ball. In there to the outfield. It goes to the left center gap. As in left center tonight is going to be Patrick Clifford. Remember, he was a late addition to this roster.
So far, he's already played a big role. He had a hit last inning.
Another fly ball out to Chris Farrington.
Oh, that's a costly throw back into the infield. It just gave Evening Wood an extra 60 feet.
Yeah, you got to be careful, and you got to remember that with 60-foot bases, the speedy guys can advance even on little fly balls to left field like that.
And you'll see this later on, I'm sure, but defensively, you have to take fewer risks. If you try to go for it all, cut down the lead runner, you'll see a lot of trail guys take an extra 1 or 2 bases.
Fly ball over to right field. It's going to be a can of corn. And that will do it for Evening Wood. Balls on Parade Hill again. They're up by 8 here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action at Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Not the guy that Evening Wood wants at the plate, partner. Chris Farrington will lead it off. He had the 2-run homer in the bottom of the first.
Well, you could say that Evening Wood really doesn't want to face anyone at the plate right now, but Farrington especially. It was his big blast that got their offense started, and really in that first inning, it didn't really stop.
It's not looking good right now for Evening Wood. Slaughter rule is in effect, even for the championship game. It's 25 runs through 7. And if Balls on Parade continues to get 9 spots, we're going to see that tonight. Farrington, Savage, Niedermeyer, the 1-2-3 lineup for the bottom of the second.
They have the ultra shift on him in the outfield right now.
If you shoot the box, partner, with decent speed, you can get a triple. Farrington waits on it, and it's outside for ball 1. He jammed him. Got a good read on it off the bat, and it's caught by the left center fielder for the first out of the inning.
That's a huge confidence boost for Evening Wood right there. That's the toughest out to get in the Balls on Parade lineup, and they did it on relatively few pitches too.
Can your arm tire throwing it underhanded? The pitch count?
Well, I suppose it does. I mean, we've done softball games together, and in softball, you see pitchers throw 150, 200 to start just because throwing it underhand is a lot less taxing on your arm, but it doesn't mean your arm doesn't get tired.
So work that pitch count tonight, draw those walks for adult league softball. In there for a base hit.
I guess I'm just so used to calling a pro baseball that sometimes those conventions don't necessarily hold up.
I remember I was doing a game with, what's his name? Oh, yeah, Brendan King. And
BK, my guy.
And he forgot that we were doing 10U baseball. And he's like, go ahead, run 90 feet away. I'm like, not a 10U, partner. That's 65 feet. It'd be a very quick game if it was 90-foot bases for 10-year-olds. One on, one out.
Maybe. I can see that side of the argument for sure.
Into right field. That was a really nice piece of hitting. He first and thirds him. In fact, he gets to second on it because it's 60-foot bases and a late break to the plate.
Well, I guess you brought up Brendan King. Congratulations to him. His South Bend Cubs won the Midwest League title. So now he's going into the offseason with a little jewelry on his hand.
Yeah, he's done a couple of championship games. That is not an RBI because it was a late break to the plate. Good job at second base. One hopper at first. They got him. Runner advances, but a big out for balls on parade. Make that 2 outs in the inning.
But even on that ground ball to the right side, a heads-up base running, it gets you an extra 90. All it takes is a blooper, some defensive miscue, and you're up to double digits.
Little nubber, and it goes foul. Down to his last bullet. This is not what Evening Wood subscribed to tonight. They wanted to score a lot of runs. Still have time, of course, but now 2 outs in the top of the second, and they trail by 7. Late swing, kind of an excuse me swing, and it's an easy. They actually dropped it. Did he touch it in fair territory? He did.
And that is why you take the extra base when it presents itself. Because the runner advanced from second to third on that ground ball, give balls on parade another run.
That's also a situation, partner. You got to know where you're at as a pitcher. You know that it's going to be an automatic out on 2 foul balls, so just let it go foul.
And those are some mental mistakes you can't make with the championship on the... Oh, I guess Evening Wood's still batting. I apologize, but those are mental mistakes you can't make with a championship on the line. That's what gives these guys extra at-bats, and their offense is still potent, even though they're a little slow tonight. A base hit right there that has Evening Wood right back in it. Excuse me, it is balls on parade. Yeah, I had it all backwards.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the second, right? That was on me. For some reason, I was giving Evening Wood the runs. It's 11-1, not 9-3. Good throw at first, and that will do it for the inning. But more runs score. It is 11-1 in favor of balls on parade to go to the top of the third. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Now it's Evening Wood up at the plate. They're down by 10. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I sure am. Up for Evening Wood. It'll be the bottom of the order. Darneter, Moylan, and Robertson, and then back to the top. For Evening Wood, they only have a couple of hits tonight. Balls on parade, leading by 10. only run of the game, Greg Reese scored on a home run. That was in the top of the first. And since then, 11 unanswered runs scored by Balls on Parade.
Well, Kyle, you said one of the ways to get back into a game is to take the walks. I think Evening Wood just took your advice right there. It's a good lead-off walk, and now you might have something going for you offensively. I've seen a lot bigger rallies start off with a lot less.
Moylan now up, Robertson on deck. One on, nobody out. And it's just missing the mat for a ball. Hit the mat, strike two. This is so problematic right now for Evening Wood. They're in the bottom of the lineup, and they're down by 10, but a three-hopper gets through the infield, and he firsts and thirds him, does Moylan. Double play in effect, but partner, it's hard to turn a double play unless it goes right to the second baseman or shortstop. They can, touch the bag and then throw it to first with double play.
Defensively, you can't really be thinking about that. You just have to take the outs where you can get them, and don't worry about throwing guys out on the base paths. Just make the safe throw.
Fly ball. It's going to get over the left center fielder. Good catch. And he didn't tag up. I don't think so. I didn't see anybody running towards home.
Well, that's because he's on second.
Oh, didn't he advance to third on
No.
He didn't. I thought
He did not.
All right. One out. Little ground ball. Did they turn this double play? They did. Tagged him at second, got him at first for the double play. Wow. 3 unassisted double play. That does it for the inning. And we go to the bottom of the third. It's 11-1 in favor of Balls on Parade here on SBS.
Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
$11-1 in favor of Balls on Parade. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Kyle Smith alongside Ryan Zimmerman. As it's a 10-run lead right now for Balls on Parade.
Balls on Parade's had everything going for them, not just at the plate. Obviously, they've had a lot of success there, but they're so solid on defense. You saw it with that double play to end the last half inning. They know exactly what to do when they get the softball, and every decision they've made has been the correct one. And that's what wins you championships, sound fundamental play.
We might see the mercy rule tonight. I just have not seen a lot of good stuff from Evening Wood. As they're already down 11-1. It's 11 unanswered runs for Balls on Parade. They batted around in the first. They scored 9 runs and then 2 runs in the bottom of the second in their first strike. This is now 0-2 to Patrick Clifford. He had a triple. He had a 2-run triple in the bottom of the first. It was a late addition. That's a fly ball out in the outfield, and it's a one-hopper base hit. You got to be worried about that if you're the outfield, Ryan, because if you're late getting it back into the cutoff, man, that can be a double with 60-foot bases.
Easily, and that's what I've been talking about pretty much this entire game. Defensively, you have to be smart, know exactly what to do with the ball as soon as you get it, because if you hesitate, that just allows the other team to steal one on you, and that could be the difference.
Dusty McAdam, who had a bloop base hit in the bottom of the first, he gets a single. He's going to try for the double, and he's in there. That's now 2 doubles for him, as he had a late break in the bottom of the first. We thought he was injured, but he got back into the game, playing through the pain, now 11-1. Your favorite MLB memory, text 330-957-7653. Text lines open. All FCC regulations do apply. Weinberg, fly ball into the outfield. Did not touch it, so no error. 2 runs will score, and they got to get it in quick, and they do. He's going to think about it. He'll try for the inside the park homer, and he got it. An inside the park home run for Weinberg, and that'll make it 14-1.
Man, that was not an easy play to make in the outfield. Give him a lot of credit for trying to make the acrobatic catch, but it just wasn't meant to be. But Weinberg, just on his horse the whole way, took nothing for granted. He thought he had a shot at 4 immediately once he made contact, and that was the difference.
Bang, bang play, but they get him out at first base. Jacobo, who struggled in the first inning, good throw to get the first out of the inning. Well, partner, Mama said there'd be days like this, and that's what's happening right now to Evening Wood.
Well, granted, it is still early. You talked about that 11-0 game that ended up in a loss, so...
The problem with that game, though, look at that. That's definitely a Major League pop-up. As making the catch that time is Jackson.
That's a home run if the wind doesn't blow that ball right back in.
And a break for
He thought he had it off the bat, but Mother Nature had other ideas.
We started around 8, about 8:10, because we had to get the semifinals in. As Chris Angela texts us, what's the slaughter rule? It's 25 after 7, Chris. Down 13, but he still dives on the play, skips the cutoff man. It's still a double. Farrington in the cleanup spot is killing Evening Wood. He's now got a 2-run homer and a double.
And don't expect that hot bat to stop swinging it. He's been finding the gaps in the Evening Wood defense, and they've had no answer for him.
And here's the Edwin Diaz walk-up music to the 5-hole hitter and Nick Savage. He has 2 singles on the night. In there for a ball. It's now 1-1.
I must say the music selection throughout the night has been brilliant.
Another base hit. Partner, I know it sounds strange, but do you think that some of these second basemen and shortstop should be playing right in back of the second base bag and giving up second base?
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah.
I mean, it's a shift, right? There's crazy shifts in MLB. You could technically do a shift. Well, this is the last.
Don't get too used to that.
Yeah, this is the last year of it, but another base hit.
Oh, they got him on the back pick.
They call him out.
He was out.
And you know what? It's 15-1. Even if he wasn't out, he's out. Let's keep the game going. It's 15-1 as we go to the top of the 4. It's between Balls on Parade and Evening Wood.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
(15-1). Everything that you think of with a 15-1 score, that's been the definition of tonight's game, partner, and then some. We've seen triples, we've seen home runs. The problem is we've seen a lot of them from balls on parade, not so much for Evening Wood.
Yeah, for a team that scored 40 runs in their semifinal game, this is almost unfathomable.
Maybe they just ran out of gas. You score 40 runs, you don't have enough energy for the next game. Just missed for a ball, 1-1 to Brian Chikover. It's been pretty light hitting-wise tonight for Evening Wood. Little nubber back to the pitcher, a 1-3 put-up for the first out of the inning.
It was an excellent reaction play on the mound. He had to reach all the way up to haul that chopper in, but in a championship game, you got to do everything you can to knock that one down, and he did.
That'll bring up Greg Reese. The only run tonight's been off his bat. In there for a strike. He's now down on the count, 0-2. The OPS goes down about 100 points from 0-1 to 0-2. Line drive. He dropped it. That's going to be an error on the shortstop.
Well, don't tell that to Greg Reese because he hit that ball right on the screws.
I don't care, partner. That was right at the glove. You got to catch that ball.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying. He was taking the same hack 0-2 that he would have 0-1.
It's Savage at shortstop, and that was not a Savage play.
Look at you with the young people lingo.
I think that's more old people lingo. In fact, like old people. Dad jokes. Little ground ball, and it's through the infield for a base hit. They were playing deep, no doubles defense. He's going to shoot it to second. It's a double and an RBI. They'll make it 15-2.
They just took that one for granted. That's all it was. They just lackadaisically threw the ball back into the infield, and it results in another run.
Yeah, you
Credit Evening Wood. They just hustle on the base paths, and it gets them back within 13.
Missed it for a ball, 1-1. Now you just need a couple of base hits, a couple of home runs, and you're right back in it. Line drive into the outfield. Looking for the RBI single. They send him, does the third base coach. It's now 15-3. The problem is, too, partner, you're the away team, so as many runs as you score this inning, you know that not only do we have to score like 10 runs this inning, but we have to hold balls on parade to no runs.
And they've scored in each of the first 3 innings. Their offense is red hot. That'll be a tall task to slow them down.
Runner on first on the base hit, as it was a foul ball. Now 0-2. Wendell at the plate, Tatonchi on deck. Only one out thus far. Just missed, 2-2. I'd say red light, even if it's right down the middle, you need walks, you need runners on base. Line drive into the outfield, he swings anyways, and it's a base hit. Takes his time to get it in because of that. Both runners advance. It's not an error per se, partner, but you got to get the ball in quick because it's only 60-foot bases.
Yeah, it shows how much we know. he got that ball in his spot, and now he's standing on second base.
It's risky, though. A little bit more on it. Would have been a line drive to left for the out. But they do get the runners, 2 ducks on the pond. One swing of the bat, it's less than a 10-run deficit. Missed for a ball. Noche is pitching tonight. Missed for a ball. 2-1. Got to have 4 balls to get a walk. It's not California rules tonight. 3-1.
To clarify, there are some leagues, if you didn't catch this earlier on the broadcast, that start with a 1-1 count.
Yeah.
Kyle does, in fact, know what he's talking about.
I always know what I'm talking about, except when I miss the double play. Hey, I was doing the scoreboard and everything. I thought that was 3-2. I guess I was wrong. Line drive into the outfield. On 3-2, you can drive one in. They send the runner. Both runners score. Don't call it a comeback yet, but at least there's some life from Evening Wood.
Hey, little by little, that's the name of the game.
And that E6 is really doing wonders right now for Evening Wood. That would have been 2 outs, nobody on. Instead, 1 on, 1 out. And since then, 4 straight hits. Still down by 10, though. Trailed by as many as 14. Terrible route to the ball, and it's going to be a base hit for Evening Wood. Make it a double. They're ascending to third, and he gets there. Was not touched. So it's technically a triple, but part of that should have been caught.
That's what I was saying earlier today. Your first step has to be back. That left center fielder's first instinct was to go in, and because of that, the ball went over his head. He absolutely could have had it if he played it back initially.
Yeah, you just got to run to a spot, right? You take a loop around to get to a spot on the outfield to catch it. You can't backtrack. Into the outfield. Another run scores, 15-7.
Don't count these guys out. This is a team that scored 40 runs in their semifinal game, and now they're starting to get back to that 40-run form.
Problem is, do you have anything on defense? We've already seen 2 errors by Jacover, and he was supposed to be your best defender at short. Fly ball into the outfield. Terrible route to the ball, but he does catch it. It's an F9 if you're scoring at home. 2 outs, now to Moylan batting. Such a great song. That's in there for a strike. Reminds me of the movie The Hangover.
Oh, yeah, that's the song they played when they went to the casino and counted cards.
Yep. Loses track of it, but still able to handle it, does the pitcher in Noche, and that'll do it for the inning. But the damage is certainly done. 6 runs, cross home play. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 15-7 in favor of Balls on Parade here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Distracted.
Bottom 4, 15-7, Balls on Parade. They have led all game except for the top of the 1st. Every time they batted since, it's been all balls on parade. Do they have more hits in them? Because, Barter, we saw that Evening Wood woke up in the top of the 4th. It's asking a lot for Evening Wood, though. They're going to have to score at least 20 runs to win this game, if not more.
Yeah, and the way Balls on Parade has been swinging the bat, it might not even take 20 to beat them. Balls on Parade's been hitting everything in sight. They've taken advantage of some shoddy Evening Wood defense as well. So if Evening Wood has any shot of getting back into this game, they have to keep their bats hot, sure, but they also need to tighten up their defense.
If there's any hole right now in the Balls on Parade offense, it's the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Langager's 0 for 2. DeMuzio's 1 for 2. Noche's 1 for 2. And now the first hit of the game for Langager is a little nubber into the outfield. Thought about going to second, but thought against it. And one on, nobody out.
And when you're hot, you're hot. Those are the balls that drop. Langager didn't get that good a contact on it, but he found some space behind short. And, you know, they don't ask how many hits. They don't ask how you get the hits. They ask how many.
Outside for a ball. And there's obviously analytical stats like line drive percentage and isolation power that tells you how you're getting your hits, but ground ball, pass first. They get the fielder's choice at second, no chance at first. And that's an FC 6-4 out. 2 have reached home plate and 1 out. Eric Noche will bat. He reached on an error, as that's a fly ball past the third baseman. Little duck snort base hit. They throw it into third. That was a good decision, partner, because no matter what, Noche was going to get into second regardless.
Oh, agreed. Sometimes the smartest play is trying for the lead runner, and especially on a ball hit to left field, that's your shortest throw anyway, so you might as well take your chances with that. If you throw to second, a run scores.
Jackson has certainly had a lot to do in left field tonight. That's in there for a strike. Clifford up, McAdam on deck. That's back to the top of the order. 1 and 2 the count. Ball 3. McAdam has a double, and he has 2 doubles on the night, actually. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. Make that 17-7. Always a good thing, partner, when your 11-hole hitter is 3 for 3.
There really are no weaknesses on this Balls on Parade lineup. 1 through 12. These guys will do some damage. Hold on. What's going on over there on the field?
He's wearing a blue man uniform. There comes the security.
You know what? I am not so sure he's allowed to do that.
I'm pretty sure that was stage, partner, but...
Oh, 100%. They're just having a little fun on Championship Tuesday. I could see the smiles on the security guards' faces from here.
Well, Halloween starts in about 13 days from now, so an early start with that costume. And he got away!
Oh, no.
As they say in football, he's tackled and hit hard to the turf.
I see you channeling your inner Kevin Harlan there, Kyle.
I was going to... Did you see that Thursday night game where the cat went on the field? With Kevin Harlan?
Yeah. Recently, there was a Monday night game earlier this year where a fan went onto the field running around to do a gender reveal, and Bobby Wagner decked him.
I saw that, yeah. There was also a...
Man, whenever the Rams and the Niners play on Monday night, there's always a field invader.
Well, you ever been to San Francisco?
I have, actually.
Yeah, that's why. It's a cool town.
I went to school there.
That's Berkeley. It's
close enough.
It's kind of San Francisco.
It's close enough.
Technically, the 49ers don't even play in San Francisco anymore. They play in Santa Clara, but that was kind of funny. I think it was a little overdone, but make that a 1-1 count on Dusty McAdam. Into the outfield for a base hit. He's going to try for 2. It's a good throw, but went off his shoelace. into second, and another run scores for Balls on Parade. Patrick Clifford, 3 for 3. Dusty McAdam, 3 for 3. Those are your 10 and 11 hole hitters. When that's happening for you, I don't think that Evening Wood stands a chance.
Well, like I said, there are really no weaknesses in this Balls on Parade lineup. These are guys 1 through 12 that can all do some damage. That's how you win championships. You put together the most well-rounded lineup you can put together.
In there for a strike. 0-2 now to Weinberg. He reached on an air and a home run tonight. He has scored twice. He's done his job as the leadoff man.
Thank God it's not baseball. Otherwise, maybe that runner would have broken for third on the errant throw back to the pitcher.
Remember, though, in baseball, it's 90-foot bases, so it's harder to score. Outside for a ball. It's been a beautiful night for adult league softball. He shoots the box with a base hit. They'll send him. Make it now 19-7. It's been a great day for McAdam. He has scored all 3 times, as has Clifford.
And he's not trying to go for the fences either. He's just trying to make contact and find some space in the outfield. He's not trying to do too much. He's just staying within himself.
It's going to just take so much for Evening Wood to come back. Not only do they have to score a lot, they got to find a way to get these guys to hit them where their defense is. That's a little pop fly to third for the second out of the inning. If you're just joining us, it's been as many as 14-1 in terms of a lead for Balls on Parade. They now lead 19-7. The closest that Evening Wood got to winning this game, they were up 1-0 in the top of the first, but the problem is Balls on Parade got to bat in the bottom half of the inning. That one's got a chance. Decent launch angle, and it's a dinger. And the left center fielder says that it hit the light tower. A little Roy Hobbs action. And it's a 2-run dinger. Make it 21-7. It's a football score here at Community Park West.
Man, that ball was gone as soon as he made contact. Balls on Parade's had the big swings of the bat tonight. And you said that their lead was 1-14. Well, now it's back.
It is not a football game tonight. That is the softball score. We'll play till 11:15. That's when the lights go out. Well, we've seen everything. We've seen home runs. We saw a guy that went on the field that was not supposed to go on the field. Yeah, he was a Patriot, though, at least. Did you... As well, wait, I'll tell you after this pitch, as that's outside for a ball. Did you see the Thursday night game where there was a guy that entered the field and Chris Collinsworth said, "There's a guy on the field, but we're going to pan to the other side." off the fence. And he's going to get in there for the double.
Been a couple good ones earlier this year. LSU was playing Southern University, and just in the middle of a play, some random guy wanders into the end zone, and no one notices until after the play.
21-7. Chris Adams now has 2 doubles and a home run. The underdog story known as Evening Wood. The clock is about to strike midnight on this Cinderella story. Into the outfield for another base hit. As that's an error in right field. So it stays a single. That will not be a triple. Another run scores. It's still an RBI, but Savage will not be credited with the triple. It'll be an E9 base hit. This will be the last hitter before we bat around. They've already batted around once in this game. On a cold night like this, partner, if you're Evening Wood, do you consider throwing the towel? There's a line drive to second base. We'll talk about that as we get to the top of the fifth. It's all balls on parade tonight here on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
22-7, and partner, we kind of teased it in the bottom of the fourth. It's now the top of the fifth, and it just doesn't seem like Evening Wood's going to come back into this game. Do you think if you're Evening Wood, you want to play all 9, or as it gets colder tonight, you want to just play 7 and have a drink with your boys, finish it at 7 innings?
Well, both are tempting, but you've made it all the way to the championship. Why throw in the towel when you could pull off a comeback?
I mean, anything's possible, but balls on parade, they've scored in every inning. So even if you got like 10 runs in this inning, balls on parade's probably going to hit a grand slam.
Well, don't tell Evening Wood that. They think they have a chance until the final out is made, as they should. And look, you still have 15 more outs to play with, and you best believe they're going to use all 15.
As a Cubs fan, you know not to count the outs. That's a ground ball. Look at that play. And the pitcher with an underhand throw. That's a web jam if I've ever seen one. Stays with the play and gets him out. Great job by Noche.
It's a heck of a play on the mound, but I think you have the analogy backwards. I'm saying the offense has 15 outs to work with, so they need to use them to their advantage.
Yeah, true. Just thought I would give you a little crap. A little fly ball. And that's a fair ball. I thought it was awesome that they gave Bartman a World Series ring.
Yeah, all the stuff that he went through, it was the least that they could do.
He grew up in this area. He was a Northbrook coach in Northbrook, yeah.
Growing up, Jason Kipnis lived a couple blocks, or not a couple blocks, he lived a couple houses down from Bartman.
Awesome. Fly ball, and it's going to be an easy out at first. Good job getting in front of that by White. It's been a tough day for Jacover. 3 errors committed, and he's 0 for 3 at the plate now. Greg Reese, he has a home run. He also reached on an error. Outside for a ball. It's going to be a huge comeback effort for Evening Wood tonight. That's a base hit into center field. It's going to be played by Clifford. Runners at first and third. Ideally, partner, you'd like to get this deficit to under 6 if you can. I don't know if you can do it this inning, though.
Well, they have an opportunity to cut it 2 down, so start with that.
Ground ball is short. Good throw, but can't pick it out at first.
There you go.
Well, we'll say an error on the shortstop, but would have liked to see a little bit better effort from the first baseman. I'd like to see a little bit better stretch on that one.
Well, let's be honest, how much can he really stretch?
That's the one job you have as a first baseman. Line drive into right, no doubles defense. Didn't need to fall down, but he did. And that will do it for Evening Wood. We go to the bottom of the fifth. They get a couple of runs, but they still trail by a lot here on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Bottom of the fifth, 22-9 in favor of Balls on Parade. If this were a football game, Balls on Parade scored 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points. Then they went forward for 2 on the 3rd touchdown. Knightwood, they don't have much offense tonight. I think they have Russell Wilson at quarterback, 3 field goals.
Oh, wow. Breaking out the big guns, are we, Kyle?
Look, if you're getting paid $243 million and you've given us the travesties that you have on Thursday night, and 2 Monday night games, by the way.
Oh, I'm totally sided with you on that one. I just so happen to be a fan of one of the teams that he played on one of those games, so I get to hear Broncos country, let's ride every 10 minutes. But
I'm also very biased because Brandon McManus is on my fantasy team. And believe it or not, I have lost twice by 1 point, and all I needed was a Brandon McManus field goal to win. As that's in there for a base hit.
But here's the real question, though. Will we end tonight in scoregami?
What's a scoregami? What's that?
Scoregami, it's the art of finishing a football game with a score that has never once been done before. It's for those that like SB Nation, it's if you've ever heard of John Boy's,
yeah,
he has a whole video on it.
22-11 would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, we've had one this year.
11-10, right?
Was there an 11-10?
That was the Sunday night game.
Okay. Make it 2, because 48-45 it also never happened.
Really? 48-45 never happened?
Yeah.
Little fly ball into left center.
Completely forgot about that, because, you know, for as bad as the Broncos have been, they've been on national TV 4 times.
Okay, what was the 4th time? Oh,
that
yeah, the Sunday night game. Yeah.
The one where Jimmy Garoppolo stepped out of the end zone before he threw a pick 6.
Yeah. I still love Jimmy. He went to Rolling Meadows High School. That's a fly ball out to right. Good jump that time by Evening Woods Chasen.
And one of 2 Chicago-born players, or Chicago area-born players, or let me rephrase that, 2 Chicago area quarterbacks in this league.
Who's the other one?
Kirk Cousins.
Where did he play?
I'm pretty sure he's from, I forget where he grew up, but it was somewhere in the Chicagoland suburbs.
Then he just had to go to Michigan State. He couldn't go to Illinois. Everybody just, once you graduate high school, everybody's leaving the state.
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo didn't.
This is true, but I don't think that was by choice.
Oh, most definitely not.
Fly ball. And it's going to be a Ducks North base hit. That will be an RBI and make it 23-9. It's not a double, though, because he gets the second on the throw.
He's from Barrington, by the way. Kirk Cousins is from Barrington.
Barrington.
He ended up moving to Holland, Michigan for high school, that's why he ended up at Michigan State, in all likelihood.
They're going to say they were appealing at third. He didn't touch the bag. Look, you got to try everything. You're down 23-9, but no, he definitely touched third. Little fly ball out to right, but it's fouled away. Dusty McAdam looking to go 4 for 4. His teammate Patrick Clifford is also 4 for 4. What do you do if you're the Broncos with Russell Wilson? Do you consider going to Brett Ripon in one of these games?
No, what you do is you fire Nathaniel Hackett. Considering how much you gave up to get Russell Wilson, you absolutely cannot afford to waste a season. So get rid of the guy that has been hurting him the most.
I meant you're not going to fire Nathaniel Hackett during the season, are you?
You could make the argument. It's a very extreme argument, but I think there's one to be had.
And that's going to be a strikeout against Dustin McAdams. So he does not go 4 for 4 on the night. That's a K on the score sheet. But the damage is done once again. Balls on Parade is scored in every inning. We go to the top of the 6th. They're up by a lot here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
(23-9) is the score. We talked about in between innings, partner. You're thinking that they would fire Nathaniel Hackett during the season before they'd consider a quarterback, Jay.
Well, you can't really bench your $243 million quarterback, can you?
Well, if you know you're getting fired regardless if you're Nathaniel Hackett, I think you would try it, right? I mean, remember when...
I have a feeling that ownership would get in the way of that.
Remember, what was his name?
McAdoo?
His last year in Chicago, he tried out Jimmy, what was his name? Jimmy
Clausen?
Yeah, just to show that his system would work. Of course it didn't, but...
Well, I'm not a Bears fan, so I don't really remember that, but I was thinking more along the lines of Ben McAdoo benching Eli Manning to save his job.
The worst part about that is it ended Eli's streak.
Yeah, then the next game, he was right back in the starting lineup, and Fox showed a graphic, started 211 of the last 212 games or something like that, and it was just really awkward to look at.
It was. I like what's going on with Geno, though. I've been rooting for Geno. He got a bad rep in New York, and he's slightly getting it done right now in Seattle.
Slightly. I'd say he's more than slightly. The Seahawks are 3-3 right now.
Yeah, he's doing his job.
That's tied for first in the NFC West.
I don't know if that's more Geno Smith or more about the NFC West not getting the job done, but in there for another ball.
Well, that was a strike. They called that a strike.
They did call it a strike. 2-2 the count with nobody out. Little Happy Gilmore swing, and he gets it to right field. He tries to first and third him, and he does. And something going here for Evening Wood. Now they just need a home run, back-to-back-to-back homers, and maybe put a 20 spot in the back of the umpire's pocket.
Well, whatever works for Evening Wood, but they just have to keep doing what they're doing offensively. They're off to a good start here in the top of the 6th, but you can't try to get it all back in one swing. Just continue to hit within yourself. I know I've said that before, but, cliches are there for a reason.
And if I were the defense for Evening Wood, as that's a fly ball to the pitcher, no Shea will get it for the first out of the inning. I would definitely consider putting my second baseman right behind the second base bag and giving up in between first and second. If you want to hit it to the opposite field, we're going to give you that base hit, but no more cheap singles shooting the box. Another line drive, shoots the gap. And an interesting alignment there, partner. They had all three outfielders in right field on a right-handed hitter.
Well, clearly they knew something we didn't because the ball went right to right field. So good on Balls on Parade to play the defensive alignment correctly and hold everyone to just one base.
Inside for a ball, 1-1. Darniter is up, Moylan on deck, Robertson in the hole. A little three-hopper to short. They'll get the fielder's choice at second. And they try to get him at third. The defense says he was out, but there's no force at third there. I don't know what's going on. There's no force at third. Did he tag him, Ryan?
Well, I suppose they must have gotten the tag down. They're leaving the field.
That's a bad call. We'll look at that after the game, but it sure looked like he was on the bag without a tag. Regardless, Balls on Parade leads 23-10 here on Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
So we were right the first time, Parter. There was no tag. There's no more force play on a ground ball to short with runners at first and second. So there'll be runners on the corners with 2 out. And you like that the base umpire talked it over with the home plate umpire. Even in a 23-10 game, you still want to give Evening Wood all the 27 outs they deserve.
Oh, yeah. You never want to see anyone make a bad call, especially in a championship game. So good on them for getting together and making sure they get the call right.
Interesting alignment. They're going to play shallow on this hitter. This is the 11-hole hitter in Moylan. He is 1 for 2, but he has struggled hitting it as he had a little ground ball to the pitcher. And this should do it. It will. And a fly ball to left center to end the inning. And it's officially over. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 23-10, Balls on Parade. All right.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
I think we've seen enough. Everything else will be 720.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Bottom of the 6th, Josh Weinberg will lead it off. Bo White on deck, Chris Saddens in the hole. 2 for 3. Weinberg reached on an error. What can you say? This is just a dominating performance by Balls on Parade.
Look, we're not necessarily in mercy rule territory yet, but the 7th inning is quickly approaching. If Balls on Parade can put together an inning like they did back in the 1st, then who knows? This one might be over before we know it.
And it's getting colder. The wind's starting to pick up. It's like I said in the 5th inning, and I know we've kind of disagreed on it. If I'm Evening Wood, with it getting colder, your wife is here, your kids are here, maybe call it after 7 and you have some hot chocolate and beers together. I mean, it's obvious Evening Wood is not going to come back in this game.
And it's not like you're playing for the World Series here. As cool as this league is, you don't play because you get paid to play. You play because it's fun, and you get to hang out with your friends.
Fly ball to center. Has some topspin on it, and it's going to be a ground rule double for Weinberg.
Went right through the hole in the fence. Brought out the 9-iron on that one, and he chipped it right through the slot.
He is a triple away from the cycle. We had him in the pregame show.
So he really is popping.
Dave is a fun guy to talk to. You know what a good nickname would be for him? The Big Bopper.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you. I'm here till Tuesday. Try the veal. You like dad jokes, or you're not a fan?
It depends on the dad joke. There are some good ones.
How do insects settle their differences?
How?
They slug it out.
It's a good one. Kyle, you like Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, why?
You know, Dr. Pepper actually has a PhD.
Ah!
In physics.
You ever see the movie, what's it called?
I'm here all week, too.
It's got Winona Ryder and Adam Sandler in it. Oh, Mr. Deeds.
Never seen it.
And he's such an idiot in that movie. She makes up her family in Iowa, and she used to go to Dr. Pepper's house, and Boo Radley was her neighbor.
Oh, from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. Like, come on, there's no way that Mr. Deeds with a college degree would not know that she was just making stuff up. Fly ball. It's got some topspin on it, and it's going to get out of the ballpark. Chris Saddens with another four-bagger. Make it a 2-run four-bagger, and the onslaught is on here at Community Park West.
Balls on Parade is out to their biggest lead of the night, 16 runs. I said it earlier, one big inning might just put Evening Wood to the sword, and certainly that won't help their chances.
What a hit that was by Saddens.
See, before the game started, he made sure to tell you exactly how to pronounce it because I had a feeling he thought he was going to do something big. And, well, now that we know how to pronounce it, we're giving you your proper justice.
That one's hit well to left. They play the line. It's over the fence. Was it fair? It's a home run. Back-to-back dingers. Farrington and Saddens have both gone deep.
The countdown to the Mercy Rule is on. Balls on Parade has reignited their offense here in the middle innings.
I mean, I was watching Evening Wood in the semifinal. It did look like Balls on Parade stood a chance. At Balls on Parade, they were so close to losing in that semifinal, you were wondering if they had any energy left. But they saved the best for last as the lowly 7th seed.
Well, it's like I was saying, every game's different. You could see so many different things, and the Balls on Parade is pulling out all their best. And at 27 runs, they're forcing a pitching change.
So you can pull the plug on Robertson. He gives up 27 runs. Not all of them are earned. But it was a hitting display. That's going to be an error at third base and another base runner for Balls on Parade. Just couldn't handle it.
Can you really justify an ERA, though, in slow pitch softball? I mean, in a sport where the point is for the batter to be able to hit the ball, I don't think you can put very much on the pitcher.
There, Duncan has that one. He makes up for the error, as it's a 5-4 putout. What a game it's been for Saddens and Farrington. They both have 2-run homers. Each of them with 2-run bombs. But the major story of this game is the fact that Clifford in the 10 spot, who just showed up from a flight, is 4 for 4. Fly ball caught out at second base.
Hey, planes, trains, and automobiles, and he's really shown up here for this final. I don't think Balls on Parade cares how he got here, but when he got here, he made sure to make his presence felt.
We still have 3 more innings of this, unless that Balls on Parade can score 10 more runs. In there for a strike. We might see the strike zone widen a little bit for Balls on Parade in the last 3 innings. Missed for a ball. DiMuzio has struggled tonight. He's reached on an error in a fielder's choice. He has a base hit and he's flew out to left. That time a little dinky single to center. They send him.
He hit the stop sign late.
That's going to stay fair for a little number base hit. And then at the last second, it goes foul.
Wouldn't have resulted in a run because the man on third wasn't going anyways, but heads up defense from Evening Wood gives themselves at least a chance.
Missed for a ball. Outside for a ball, 2-2. Well, Evening Wood getting a taste of their own medicine. They won 40-15 in the semi. Now they trail 27-10. Fly ball stays up in the air. It's going to be caught that time by Reese. Top of the 7th, Evening Wood needs a lot of runs to come back. You're watching Evening Wood against Balls on Parade here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Final reminder, the text line's open. Your favorite MLB memory, text it to 330-957-7653.
You know, let's get the text line started early. Kyle, what about you? What's your favorite MLB memory?
I was at the Brzezinski drop third strike game. My seats were in left field. And
are you, just to clarify for those that want to text in, is it restricted to games that you attended or just straight up? Okay. That's kind of cool, though. I didn't realize you were at that game.
Yeah, my dad had season tickets to the White Sox.
No kidding.
I had a broken finger at the time, so my dad made sure that the Sox fans weren't whacking into it. Little fly ball out to shortstop. Almost a collision, but good job getting out of the way that time by Clifford.
Being the Cubs fan that I am, I think the easy answer is winning the World Series. And while that is a big memory, I'll dig a little deeper on that. But when the Cubs were playing the Giants in the NLDS, I had tickets to Game 3 at what was then called AT&T Park. And I got to watch Jake Arrieta hit his 3-run home run against Madison Bumgarner to break his, I think it was somewhere in the range of 20-inning consecutive scoreless streak in the playoffs.
Yeah, because he had pitched that one-game playoff against the Mets. I think he threw a complete game against the Mets.
He did, in the wild card game when it was only one game.
I do like the new format, though. It stinks this year because we had the strike, so the season had to start later, and now we're going to have all the World Series games, it seems like, in November. But I like it. What I don't like is that the Mariners played all those games and they only got one home game. That's what kind of stinks about it.
It's going to happen sometimes. There's always drawbacks to it. But, hey, at least it's not 16 like the owners originally wanted.
I'd be okay with, 8 for each league, 16 total. What I don't like is how many games there are, and I get it, like 162 games. There's so much TV revenue to make, but there's just games in the dog days of August, like between the Diamondbacks and the Padres, that just nobody cares about.
I mean, coming from someone that calls professional baseball for a living, I totally understand your pain. But
fly ball into right, and it's going to reach the stands for a 2-run four-bagger. Put 2 more on the Jumbotron. Evening Wood now needs 15 runs to tie.
Hey, little by little. Evening Wood has had some of their big swings.
Greg Reese has reached base all 4 times. He's 3 for 4, though, as he reached on an air back in the 4th. It's just been a hit parade. That's why they're called balls on parade, right?
I would assume so. It's one thing I like about these adult league softball names. There are a lot of really good puns. Those of you that are, like me, fans of Rage Against the Machine, I think Balls on Parade is a lot more obvious.
Yeah, it's not for me.
You do get it, right?
Kind of. I'm not a big... I like rock and roll bands, but like when it comes to music, I can't name everything at the drop of a hat.
Oh, Rage Against the Machine, one of their biggest hits is called Bulls on Parade.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which is why Balls on Parade.
Now I'm getting it. It's hard for some people.
There's a lot of music that I don't know about either, so. But I also just happened to be 10 years old when Bulls on Parade was on Guitar Hero, so unfair advantage there.
That was a great game. Were you more of a rock band? Oh, look at that play at second, and it's going to be actually it's by the first base, but a 3 unassisted put out, and that will do it for the inning. It's time to stretch. It's the bottom of the 7th with Balls on Parade up by 15 here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
It's time to stretch as they play the 7th inning stretch here at Community Park West, field number 1. I love going to games at American Family Field where they do the 7th inning stretch and then roll out the barrel. One of my favorites.
I've not been to a Brewers game since I was maybe 8, so.
Just don't wear the Cubs jersey when you go to American Family Field. They don't like that.
I can fight for myself.
All right. I won't be there to help you, though. If it's a Cubs-Brewers game, you might make it back to your car. But if you wear that Cubs jersey for like a Brewers-Cardinals game, they don't.
Well, then I draw equal ire from both fan bases. But I always found it interesting, roll out the barrel. I know it's like the big Green Bay Packers song, and I like it. It's a big Wisconsin thing, but the league I work in, the American Association, there's a team in Texas, and they play roll out the barrel to introduce the beer batter.
That's pretty cool.
Never understood that, seeing as how they're from Texas, but...
Well, you know, there's Germans that live in Texas. It's an old German song.
Right. They also play Heart of Texas after the 7th inning stretch, which I think is pretty cool.
I mean, you got to, right? It's like if you go to an Alabama football game, eventually they're going to have to play Sweet Home Alabama.
I was thinking more so Dixieland Delight.
That too, yeah. Clifford will lead it off. He is 4 for 4 tonight. It's got to be tough, partner. You fly in with no time to practice and get warmed up, and you get 4 hits.
He's going to be telling his grandkids about this game, I'm sure.
And he had to walk 15 miles to get here. Fly ball. That carries. And it's going to be a home run.
We'll make him 5 for 5.
Wow. Patrick Clifford with the game of his life. Well, some fans might call it a cheap home run, but you know what? You play with a field with less than 300 feet to deep center, that's what's going to happen.
Well, you got to give these guys credit. They're putting the swings on the ball that'll get it out, so it's not easy.
And according to my sheet, he is now a double away from the cycle. And he will probably not get another at bat unless they bat around in the 8th. Fly ball into right, but that's going to scatter to the foul side of the foul pole. Weinberg on deck, White in the hole. Weinberg has reached base all 4 times. It's always a good sign when your 10 and 11 hole hitters are getting on base. Shoots the box. And that's what I was talking about, partner. I know it's too late now. You're already down 28-12. But I would have liked to see for Evening Wood to make some adjustments, move those second base and shortstop closer to the bag. I know nobody's on base and you don't want to play double play depth, but they weren't really hitting it to the shortstop, third base hole or in between first and second. They were shooting the box all night, and you just didn't see any adjustments from Evening Wood on defense.
Well, that's one of those, maybe you think about it a little more the next day than you do right now, but I do agree with you. Championship game, you have to make the tough decisions, and clearly the ones Evening Wood made just didn't slow down this balls on parade offense.
It also didn't help that Saddens and Farrington both went deep twice. That's a nice drive into right. And a nice catch. So Josh Weinberg finally retired. That'll bring up Bo White. He's 2 for 4. He has 2 doubles. He's scored twice. The damage has definitely been from the 3 and 4 hole hitters in Saddens and Farrington. Line drive into the outfield. Takes a good route to the ball. He dropped it. He browned it. And the runners keep going. It's going to be an E7. No triple. And no RBI. That's why you got to use 2 hands, partner.
Especially in this wind. That ball took a sharp left turn at the last second, and he just wasn't ready for it.
What a game for Clifford and McAdam. They both scored 4 times tonight. Wind's starting to pick up. Balls on parade, looking for a 30 spot in the championship game. Outside for a ball.
Well, think about it this way. They're 8 runs away from a mercy rule. For those that are keeping track.
That was flat, but he'll swing it anyways. Finds the gap. Another run scores. And it'll be a double for Saddens.
And it's not like Evening Wood would get a chance to rebuttal. This is the bottom of the 7th.
Yep.
As soon as balls on parade hits the 25-run mark, it's over. They'll lift the trophy.
With the wind picking up harder, I'm kind of hoping for some 1, 2, 3 innings, but I don't think we're going to get them going forward.
Crazier things have happened.
This is true. Fly ball into left. This should be caught. Dropped it. Not good routes in left center field. And partner, I'm going to let you call that one. It wasn't a great route. It was on the warning track, though. Hit or error?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, call it a hit. That's not an easy play, especially when you have to account for the wall behind you. He kind of just looked up. It wasn't a routine play. Just kind of threw the glove up there, hope for the best. That's a hit in my book.
That probably should have been played by the left fielder, too, not the left center fielder. Left fielder seemed like he had an easier route.
I agree.
The center fielder's got better speed, though. And another run scores. Well, we're closer to the mercy rule. 5 runs away now, 32-12. I give credit to Evening Wood. They could have thrown in the towel after the top of the 7th, but they're going to play it out.
Might as well. You're already here.
It's not going to get any warmer, right? Although they do have a lot of firewood and some fire scattered around the ballpark.
Yeah, they also have the electric heaters, too, so both dugouts are certainly not lacking options of how to get warm.
Grounded to third. Duncan will play it as they try to turn 2, and they get it. 5-4-3 on the double play. We go to the top of the 8th. Evening Wood needs a miracle. You're watching Evening Wood against Balls on Parade here on SBS.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
What else can you say, partner? An extremely impressive performance by Balls on Parade.
You know, we talked during the pregame, Evening Wood put up a 40 piece to get here, and now Balls on Parade might be doing that to Evening Wood in the championship. Balls on Parade just took the momentum from their narrow win in the semifinals against Sectional Chocolate, and they've taken all that and boat raced Evening Wood. So give them credit. Momentum's a very fickle thing in sports, and they took full advantage of the boost they got.
Didn't get a lot of production today from their 5-hole hitter and Joe Chasson at Evening Wood. Just went 1 for 4 in adult league softball, partner. 1 for 4 days, about as equivalent to an 0 for 3 day in baseball. Just did not get much from him. And you look at the leadoff hitter and Kevin Casey, 1 for 4. Brian Jacober, the 2-hole hitter, he has had a terrible game, just 1 for 4 and a couple of errors. When you're playing from behind, you got to get more hits, and Evening Wood just couldn't get them tonight.
And this being adult league softball, the expectation is that you get 2 to 3 hits a game. It's not like baseball where the pitcher has a multitude of pitches he can throw. The only thing you can do in this is just lob it up there. The point is for you to hit it, and these guys have just not been hitting it.
And there's times when the pitcher throws a beautiful 10 to 12-foot ball where it's hard to track and, get the weight back to drive it. But ground ball to second. This should be an easy out, and it is. 4-3 on the put out. 1 up, 1 down. Good job by McAdams throwing it over to White.
This may be a very controversial thing to say, but if I'm Balls on Parade, in the bottom of the 8th, just auto outs. Just swing at everything. Get yourself to the top of the 9th so you can lift the trophy faster. Your defense has been playing so well to this point. Your pitching's been good, too. It's not like Evening Wood's going to do that much.
The other thing, too, is you could still win the game on slaughter rule, and that would be something to always think about. That
Very true.
25-run rule.
Very true.
You need a couple of base hits and a couple of homers to do it, but fly ball into right. This should be caught, and it is. Good job getting under it by Chasen. 2 up, 2 down. Too little, too late, though, as it's just not been a great performance tonight by Evening Wood. That's saying it lightly. Muzio at that time was underneath it. Ball 1-1 the count. Aaron Scher is at the plate. He's 1 for 3 with a triple. Last time that Evening Wood got close was when it was 15-7. And we'll call that an infield hit as he was falling down on the throw. It's going to be a tough play regardless.
I think he tripped. He's not looking too good. Hopefully he's okay.
He was hit to the shortstop that time on Balls on Parade's Nick Savage. Took an awkward fall. And that is a cold infield dirt that he fell on. Obviously does not feel good. Up by 20 runs, that'll probably do it for the day for Savage. No reason to come back in.
Well, for those of you that were curious, the Philadelphia Phillies have taken down the San Diego Padres 2-0 in Game 1 of the NLCS, and that's in no small part thanks to Zach Wheeler's 7 innings, allowed just 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 8.
Didn't he used to pitch for the Mets?
He did.
That's just so Mets. They don't re-sign him, and now they're 3 runs away from the World Series.
The offense tonight, Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper both hit solo home runs.
Good for them. You know, they were the last seed to get in, and there's a lot of Brewers fans that are like, if we were 2 wins away, we'd be in this spot. And I doubt that they'd be in that spot. They're a different team than the Phillies. They're more about pitching than hitting, but you never know. If you get into the tournament, especially baseball, you never know.
Yeah, and just to pour some salt into the wound because I can. Remember when Christian Yelich said to Yu Darvish on Twitter, no one needs help facing you? Well, Yu Darvish is in the NLCS too. Where's Christian Yelich since that tweet?
He has not played that well since that tweet. Bottom of the 8th, Balls on Parade can win it with a 5 spot. You're watching Balls on Parade against Evening Wood here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, Class C graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Bottom of the 8th, 20-run lead for Balls on Parade. You're watching the 2022 LVOG Fall Championship game. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Brian Zimmerman. Q on videography duties tonight. Don't go anywhere. The post-game show brought to you by SBS follows. We might get Patrick Clifford in the post-game show as he had a heck of a game for Balls on Parade. It's never a good feeling to lose by 20 runs, partner. It's even worse feeling when it's 40 degrees outside.
That's putting it lightly, but hey, give Evening Wood credit for making it this far. They were the 8th seed. No one expected them to get to the championship game, but they absolutely bashed their way here. So making it this far is no small feat.
The spring season, we saw the 5 seed go up against the 2 seed. This time it was the very unnatural 8 seed against the 7, as the 8 seed dominated the 4 seed to get to the championship game, and then a little bit of taste of their own medicine as the 7 seed dominating the 8 seed. About 20 minutes after, Evening Wood won 40-15 in the semifinal. Takes the walk. I don't know if I like that, partner. Up 20 runs, I would just be swinging at everything.
I mean, you're right, but he wasn't getting anything to hit, so I can't blame him.
Outside for a ball. That one's flat. Oh, you got to wear that, kid. We got ice.
Well, it's also 40 degrees, so.
We've got heat. Outside.
Got icy hots.
Icy hot. Remember when Shaq did those icy hot commercials?
I think he still does them.
I don't think there's a commercial that Shaq has said no to. He did the General. He's done Buick.
Epson printers.
Yeah. Line drive into the outfield. Well, we thought about it. Would balls on parade go for the Slaughter? And they certainly are. They get the leadoff walk they wanted, and now a base hit.
You know, Balls on Parade wants to end this game on their own terms. I mean, what better way to win the championship than with a quote-unquote walk-off hit? I understand it's not really a walk-off because you're going for the Slaughter rule, but hey, at least they get to end the whole championship with the bats in their hands. That's all you can ask for.
This is the one guy that Evening Wood has consistently gotten out. No Shea with a grounder, and it's an E4. Bases will be loaded.
Oh, so then what do you call the guy on deck now? The Slaughter rule run?
Get the grand slam and then go back to back. Well, if Clifford gets a grand slam, we'll definitely have him in the post-game show. Terrible pitch. That was like a 50-cent pitch. You ever seen that?
I have
Yeah.
the one where he bounces it and it ends up like hitting the cameraman.
The worst, though, was Carly Rae Jepsen.
I knew you were going
Yeah.
there. Why did I know you were going there?
You know me too well. Terrible pitch again. Just a bit outside.
It's
Right
funny.
corner, man.
I remember the announcer after saying that because it's been on YouTube a bunch. Like, I know she wrote "Call Me Maybe," but maybe not for pitching lessons.
Has she made any good singles since that song?
Honestly, I have no idea.
That was I was in college then. That was quite something with "Call Me Maybe." Fly ball into right. It's going to be caught. Runner will tag, and now they're a grand slam away from winning this game. It's a sac fly for Clifford, so he has not been out yet on the score sheet. Dusty McAdam, he struck out on a couple of foul balls. This will get it done again. It carries, but it'll be a catch for the left center fielder in Casey. And the 11-hole hitter does it for McAdam.
It's looking less and less likely that we're going to see a mercy rule, but Balls on Parade Hats off to everyone in their lineup. That's their 11 hitter getting the job done once again. He's been as tough and out as the top of their lineup.
He calls time. Remember, it's not when the batter calls time. The home plate umpire's got it granted. Back to the top of the order for balls on parade. That's a liner into the outfield, and it's going to drop for a hit. And I think they had that was not Weinberg. I think they had an entry. Anyways, they had a pinch hitter for the 12th.
Yeah, this is Weinberg.
Here we go.
But how about this? If the captain of balls on parade hits a home run to end the game. What a story that would be for him.
Line drive into the outfield. It'll score at least one, make it two, and they're one run away from the slaughter.
Well, let me amend that then. The captain could be the game-winning run.
Bo White is up. And he gets it through the infield for a base hit. "60 feet away from a slaughter rule victory." Fly ball. Casey gets a track on it, and he catches it to avoid the slaughter. We go to the top of the ninth. Evening Wood needs a miracle. You're watching Balls on Parade against Evening Wood here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
"36-12. You need 24 runs. You need 3 base hits, a grand slam, 3 more base hits, a grand slam, and a lot more grand slams after that. 10-11-12 coming up for Evening Wood, you were saying?
As long as Evening Wood has a chance, though, they're going to give it their all and make sure that if they're going to go out, it's not going to be because they weren't trying hard.
Well, they're going to try to get him at first. Great throw, and they got him! Oh, that's embarrassing if you're a fan of Evening Wood. What a throw! 8-3 if you're scoring at home.
It's one you don't see every day, but hey, it's the championship game. Balls on Parade was not going to be denied.
And the lineup for Balls on Parade, they did not have a center fielder listed, so I think that was Clifford. What a game for Clifford. Swung on and missed.
That was a strikeout there. Imagine that being your top of the ninth, down 24 runs, getting thrown out 8-3, and then striking out on 2 pitches.
Wow, that's
maybe
pretty...
not the way you want to go, but those are the breaks sometimes.
You have to think maybe Evening Wood was just cold, and that's why they're not hustling to first base on a base hit. But
also fair.
Ground ball to short. That'll do it. The championship goes the way of Balls on Parade, the pun of Bulls on Parade. They barely win in the semis, and they dominate from the opening pitch against Evening Wood.
All the credit in the world, the Balls on Parade. Doesn't matter how you win as long as you have more runs than the other team, and they've won a whole bunch of different ways to get to this point. Congratulations to the League of Very Ordinary Gentlemen Fall Champions.
And we got some fireworks. How about that? Balls on Parade. In honor of their championship, get some fireworks there at beautiful Community Park West. We'll take a break. More baseball action coming up next with the post-game show. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
It's November 4th, 2001. The 5-1 Chicago Bears are hosting the 4-2 Cleveland Browns. This is the last year of Old Soldier Field, as the Bears will have to play in Champaign next season while new Soldier Field gets built. Champaign is, of course, the home of the Illinois Fighting Illini, but it's located nowhere near Chicago. We'll talk about that storyline in a minute, but for now, let's analyze this moment. An overtime game is thrilling in its own right, but how the Bears exactly got here is simply remarkable. Overtime just got started. But for Bears fans, They know from previous experience that anything can happen early on during OT. Why is that exactly the case? To fully understand, let's rewind. The Bears entered Week 7 with a record of 5-1, but really, they should at least be 4-2. Last Sunday's thrilling finish against San Francisco was something out of a historical fiction novel. It was truly a storybook ending as the Bears overcame a 15-point deficit halfway through the fourth quarter, with starting quarterback Jim Miller exiting the game in the second quarter with a left hip pointer. Things looked very bleak for the Bears, but Chicago overcame deficits of 28-9 and 31-15 to somehow force overtime. Shane Matthews, the backup quarterback for Chicago, went against the odds and completed 12 straight passes late in the second half. Even still, the game seemed practically lost when the Bears offense faced 4th and 3 at the 49ers' 8-yard line. But Matthews threw a frozen rope to tight end John Davis to keep the chains moving. It took everything for the Bears to tie the game. Besides Matthews having to complete 12 consecutive passes, it also took an official's review for the Bears to cut the deficit down to 31-29. There wasn't indisputable evidence to overrule the initial call, allowing David Terrell's touchdown reception to stand. Still, the Bears needed a 2-point conversion to tie the game. Gut check time for the Bears, and on their first ever 2-point conversion of the season, offensive coordinator John Shoup relied on the rookie tailback for an I-formation 2-yard run. Anthony A-Train Thomas overcame the blitz and scored to tie the game. Incredible. The 49ers simply ran out of time to drive down the field at the end of regulation. Luckily for head coach Steve Mariucci, the 49ers won the toss in OT and elected to receive. With Jeff Garcia, Garrison Hurst, and Terrell Owens all primed to make the Pro Bowl, Mariucci trusted his offense against the usually stellar Bears defense. It turned out to be the wrong move. Trusting in Owens, Garcia connected with the future Hall of Famer over the middle, but Owens choked and dropped it. Going right into the hands of Mike Brown, the rookie safety caught the drop pass and ran into the end zone for a pick-6 victory. Just like that, the Bears are riding a 5-game winning streak headed into another home game against Cleveland. Remember how we said this is the last year at nostalgic Soldier Field? Chicago was reeling from the September 11th terrorist attacks, especially since it was quickly found out through United States law enforcement that the Sears Tower could have been one of the targets on a suicide mission. Al-Qaeda notes from a captured terrorist operative proved that Osama bin Laden originally wanted to target the largest buildings in Los Angeles and Chicago, but then ultimately changed his mind. Chicago firefighters even volunteered to drive to New York City to help out at Ground Zero, knowing quite well that the Sears Tower could have been just as bad as the inevitable tragedy of the Twin Towers kamikaze mission. As the country continued to recover from the 3,000 people dead on that fateful day, the 2001 season turned out to be a true underdog year for the Bears. The Bears, who hadn't won the division in 10 years and hadn't even played in the postseason since 1994, entered Week 8 in first place of the NFC Central Division. In the last year of Soldier Field, in a season that had to start Week 2 one Sunday later due to the events of 9/11, the Bears helped the healing process of their fans by winning games in the most unconventional of ways. In 3 of the Bears' 5 consecutive wins, Matthews or Miller each threw at least 2 interceptions per game. After scoring just 9 points through the first 7 quarters of their season, the Bears scored 14 unanswered points to beat the Vikings, then demolished the Falcons and Bengals. For a franchise who won't even be playing in Chicago in 2002, a division championship this season is very crucial to try and lure free agents. Remember, the Bears had to settle on Champaign-Urbana to be its home next season, with Memorial Stadium having 11,000 more seat capacity than Ryan Field, the home of the Northwestern Wildcats, in nearby Evanston. Having the games at the University of Notre Dame was an appealing destination, but with most of the fans living in Illinois versus Indiana, President Ted Phillips and the franchise decided that Memorial Stadium would be the best fit. New Soldier Field will be ready by the 2003 home opener. Richard M. Daley, along with the NFL and city officials, decided to invest $587 million to renovate Soldier Field. Only $200 million is coming from the Bears. The other $387 million came from bonds that would be retired from the city hotel tax. The Bears also had to take out a $100 million loan from the NFL for stadium improvements, but they plan to recoup their expenses from a personal seat license fee at New Soldier Field. In other words, this is a very expensive venture from the Charter franchise. The new stadium will have 61,500 seats, 8,000 club seats, and 133 luxury suites. But there will be fewer tailgate lots around the stadium to make room for its 2,500 space underground parking structure between the new Soldier Field and the Field Museum. As such, it's very important for the Bears to remain relevant in 2001 so that fans will make the drive to Champaign in 2002 and will still be excited for the new stadium come 2003. And as we see on the screen, the Bears are tied with the Browns early on in overtime. But the Browns are a Cinderella story in its own right. The Browns are a new franchise, but not really. The old Cleveland Browns, who were owned by Art Modell, moved to Baltimore following the 1995 regular season. According to Modell, he had no choice but to move because Cleveland didn't have the funds to build a first-class stadium. When Modell said the move to Baltimore was official, a public referendum passed to fund the improvements to Municipal Stadium. It was too little too late, though, as Modell wanted the Cleveland Browns to become the Baltimore Ravens. Cleveland never won the Super Bowl, but in just its 5th season in Baltimore, the Ravens won the big game in dominating fashion. The Ravens had to begin operations in 1996 as an expansion franchise, but with 2 first-round picks that April. They drafted franchise staples in Jonathan Ogden and Ray Lewis. The new Browns, meanwhile, entered the NFL as a 1999 expansion franchise. In a crazier twist of fate, the first ever owner of the Browns would be Al Lerner, a close friend of Modell who had been with him when the Ravens began operations. And to make matters even worse, the Browns could have drafted Kurt Warner during the 1999 expansion draft. They didn't, and Warner went on to win the 1999 MVP and Super Bowl MVP trophies with the greatest show on turf, St. Louis Rams. But the 2001 Browns are starting to turn things around. In its 3rd year of existence, in the post-Modell era, and with the franchise keeping its records and colors of the former team, the new Browns are 4-2 and probably should have won their 5th game in regulation. The ball fell right into Mike Brown's lap one weekend ago, but not today thus far. In fact, Brown should have had a pick late in the 3rd quarter, but the ball somehow fell out of his hands and right into the breadbasket of Kevin Johnson. Incredibly, the should-be interception became a long touchdown pass to make it 21-7 Browns. That touchdown pass became the last score for the next 14 minutes of game action. The Bears scored what looked to be a garbage touchdown with under a minute to go in the 4th quarter. Shane Matthews was everything you would expect from a backup quarterback. Matthews has thrown 50 passes thus far, only completed 30 of them, got strip sacked, and threw 3 picks. His fumble inevitably was scooped up by Courtney Brown for the scoop and score on the first drive of the game. The Bears haven't led all game long, and if they win in overtime, their first lead will be the last lead of the game en route to a Bears win. And for the Bears to even have the opportunity for a pick-6 overtime win, it's something that a novelist would write. Remember that so-called garbage touchdown pass that Marty Booker caught? Well, that touchdown reception shouldn't have mattered. With less than 3 timeouts remaining and past the 2-minute warning, Chicago had to recover an onside kick just to preserve the game. And as if the football gods want Chicago to win because the Sears Tower was an initial terrorist destination, the Bears somehow recovered the onside kick to get a second chance. The Bears should probably be called the Cats due to the 9 lives they endured the past 2 weeks at Soldier Field. Just look at this onside kick again. Percy Ellsworth couldn't handle the wobbling ball because of the unnatural hop that it took off the grass. Jerry Azuma, who formerly won the Walter Payton Award as the best Division I AA player in the nation, knocked the ball back into play where backup linebacker Bobby Howard dove for the pigskin and grabbed it. Simply incredible, but the Bears were still a long way away from tying this game. With under 30 seconds left and only 1 timeout remaining, the Bears had to use the sideline as much as possible. 2 dump-off passes by Matthews kept the Bears 34 yards away from the end zone, and head coach Dick Duran had to call the team's final timeout after James Allen got wrapped up into the field of play. Knowing quite well that this would be the last play of regulation, Matthews took his time in the pocket. Then he stepped into his throw and delivered a Hail Mary heave. What do you do when it comes to a Hail Mary? Knock it straight down, of course. But rookie David Terrell might have knocked it towards his teammates or Ellsworth, and running back James Allen made an acrobatic catch right on top of Marty Booker for the potential game-changing TD catch. Paul Edinger knocked home the game-tying point after touchdown to tie the score. It's just incredible that the Bears are in this spot. Des White has overcome 2 bobbled passes to keep his feet in bounds, and the Bears only had a 3% chance of winning the game prior to the memorable onside kick recovery. What a change of events. But unfortunately for Browns fans, they've seen this type of choke job before. From the drive to the fumble, and from Red Right 88 to not drafting Kurt Warner, this fan base has seen it all in terms of disappointments. Just whenever the Browns seem to have things wrapped up, John Elway miraculously drives down the length of the field, 98 yards to be exact, for the game-tying score. Just when the Browns seem to be moving on to the next round of the playoffs, their fans saw Brian Sipe throw a pick in the end zone. And when Ernest Biner was a couple of yards away from tying the AFC Championship game, he fumbled inside the 5-yard line. It's deja vu all over again for the Dog Pound Nation. Or perhaps maybe not. Even though the Bears won the coin flip, the Browns defense did what they did most of the game and held the Chicago offense to a 3-and-out. It's now up to former #1 overall pick Tim Couch to get it done for the Browns. Remember, the Browns selected Couch over Donovan McNabb in 1999. So far, McNabb looks like the better quarterback, but the Browns are one drive away from moving to 5-2 on the season. As such, it's starting to look apparent why Cleveland selected the former Kentucky Wildcat first overall. Granted, McNabb was put in a much better situation in Philadelphia than Couch in Cleveland. It takes a couple or even several years for an expansion franchise to compete, so the Browns might be ahead of schedule with a chance to go 5-2 headed into Week 9. Couch has looked like a first-round pick today, and his most recent completion, a 16-yarder to Kevin Johnson, was anything but mediocre. But the Browns' defense has still looked great today, as evidenced by Roosevelt Colvin's sack immediately following the Couch to Johnson connection. Can the offense and Couch recover from this recent adversity and lead the offense from a 2nd and 15 start? Or will the Bears, who haven't been in the playoffs in 7 years, win an OT for the 2nd consecutive week? The Bears are somehow finding ways to win games with journeyman quarterbacks and Miller and Matthews. Incredibly, the Bears also could have had Warner as their signal caller. Michael McCaskey and Bears ownership called Warner's agent, but Warner had to keep canceling the mandatory tryout/workout due to his upcoming wedding and subsequent honeymoon.
Welcome to the post-game show brought to you by SportsBroadcastSolutions.com. Check us out at SportsBroadcastSolutions.com, a broadcasting network for everyone. I'm Kyle Smith, but I don't matter. These young men matter. Balls on parade. Balls on Parade wins 36-12. They were 1 run shy of the slaughter rule here at Community Park Field West. We talked to you in the pregame show, Josh. You win by 1 run. For the championship game, you win by 24. What does it feel like?
Feels really fucking good! Really fucking good!
Very good, very good. Luckily, we're not funded by the FCC on that one. Big time win, 36-12. Were you guys looking for the slaughter rule in this game?
No, we just came out to win.
Absolutely. For people that don't know, what is your name and what did it feel like winning the championship game?
My name? Yeah. Eric Noche. What did it feel like? I mean, hey, what we said at the beginning of the game is we were the only ones that wanted to be happy today. And we were. It was fun. It was fun.
Let's fucking go.
No chains.
Absolutely. Big time win for your team tonight.
Yes.
You were the 7th seed.
Yes, we were.
And you found a way to get into this championship game.
Some people doubted us. Some people made posts on social media, didn't think we were going to be here, but we found our way here. We're going to hold on to this feeling because we got 6 cold months before we get out in the field again. So, man, we're going to keep us warm for the next 6 months.
October is where champions are made, right?
Let's go. Legend. That's right.
We're going to Disney World! We're going to Disney World!
He broke a record, 27 home runs in a 2-game stretch.
Oh, no, we're excited. This is a group effort here, man. We came with a game plan. We got it done. We executed. It was the best time ever with these boys. Great time.
Kirk executed about 7-8 home runs. Yes. Had a light out there. Guy was amazing.
You guys were you guys referencing Roy Hobbs when he hit the lights?
We were. Yes, we were. The natural.
Wonder boy.
The natural of Beer Lake softball right here.
Savage, get in here, dude.
Hey, you know what? You know what else though? It was amazing. This league is unbelievable. 7 versus 8 tonight. Hats off to those guys. I mean, the fact that they made a run, we made a run. Anything's possible. The draft works. The league's amazing. It's just unbelievable experience.
Before we hand it to Savage, who got us to this week, thank you to Adam. Thank you to the board. Thank you to 180 guys that make all this possible. Thank you to the Blues, the umps. It's special. It's really special. But AD makes this happen. He's curated such a special community, and it's made something that's way bigger than softball. This just happens to be our vehicle doing it, but so grateful for what they do, and we're about to baby. Let's go, Bob.
Let's do it one more time.
Hey, let's go. Hey, on 3, boys. Let's go, boys. Hey, we're gonna bop. You ready to bop? Okay, come bop, baby. Let's go, boys. Count us off.
Give it back.
Count us off, baby. 1, 2, 3. Bop! Let's go. Thank you. Thanks for doing this tonight, man.
That's a post-game show. So for our excellent crew, Bob Vilsaway in the studio, Ryan Zimmerman on color duties, Q doing the videography. I'm Kyle Smith signing off. Once again, final score, Balls on Parade wins the 2022 Fall Championship game 6-12, and we'll see you next year on SBS.